Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin report for the 21st of April. Also look at Ethereum as well. I want to take a bit of a relaxed approach to the video today because we are definitely in a correction here, and we need to be a little bit philosophical about things. We're not looking to trade at the moment while we're in this correction. So yeah, now first of all, from wave 4 to wave 5 here, this can be counted in different ways. I don't think it makes too much difference because we still end up, out of the 2 or 3 different ways, we still end up with wave 5 here. When we look at Ethereum moving up here, it does count quite nicely as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. Markets do get skewed around large numbers here, so even though there may be a tad of an overlap here, it still works quite nicely like that. So I'd probably send Bitcoin in the same way. Secondly, here with Ethereum, while we're here on the daily chart here, we can see that the move up through here has moved up to its 61.8%. So it's moved up higher than Bitcoin in that regard. So when we compare Bitcoin here, it hasn't really moved up like Ethereum has. It hasn't moved up to its 61.8% here. Now, yesterday, well, first of all, we're looking at a correction. Wave 4 could pull back to the 38.2% retracement level, or the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here. It hasn't pulled back to its wave 4s previously here, so we need to take a note of that as well. I think consolidating around the 50 could be fine, but we also need to be mindful that it can come down to, let's just say, between 40 and 45 to start with, you know. But we can nail that down a little bit later. And Bitcoin doesn't like pulling back at this stage. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of different stories about you know, what caused the sell-off there. Was it, you know, was it all the folks, you know, all the VCs cashing in on the IPO of Coinbase? We've seen, you know, $8 or $10 billion worth of futures contracts come into the market here and take that on. And I must say, you know, taking that level of futures contracts into this particular market, it's held quite stably for that. Obviously, it's taken out a lot of stops. A lot of leveraged players would have lost a lot of, you know, the average traders trading on leverage would be stopped. I hope they use stops. Hope you use stops if you're trading leverage. You must manage that risk. That's just number one priority first. Don't expose yourself with when you've got leverage. So yeah, wave 4s can get a bit complicated, but I'm thinking, as I mentioned yesterday, we went through it a little bit. I won't go through them in detail today, but these previous wave 4s here, pretty much what we're going to get again over here, you know. So just recapping this, we may not pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree because we haven't done that before. Secondly, yesterday we pulled apart these sorts of corrections in here to have a bit of a look at them. Ethereum, this one pulled way back up past the 61.8%. It didn't do it this time in the next one, and it doesn't look like it's going to do it again here as well. But Ethereum is the show pony at the moment, and that has risen up to its 61.8%. So we need to, you know, just be mindful of these, you know, things and be a bit sort of philosophical about it. But I think we'll end up with a correction looking like this, or like this here, more like this one here, because this one hasn't rallied up to its 61.8% as such. So yeah. But in the nutshell, that's kind of what we're looking at here, but I think a bit of a smaller version of that. So, yeah, let's just move in here a little bit further. We're not ready to trade yet, really. Yesterday, we were looking at this being an A wave down here, an A and a B and a C wave moving up here. The B wave got a little bit bigger, but I don't get 5 waves down here for this, so I need to talk about that because we were looking at all of this. We were looking at what I normally do with corrections, and I talked about this yesterday, is that the first leg down here, we need to understand, because there's about a dozen different types of corrections, do we get 5 waves down in the first leg, or do we get 3 waves down in the first leg? Because once we decide which one of these are we going to get, then that will change that dozen corrections into about, half of those corrections, so that we start sort of, we start refining what's actually going on here. We know wave forcer can get complicated, so we don't make any decisions early in the piece. We just keep start doing the jigsaw puzzle, and we don't get to see the picture until it matures. So that's what we're going to do here. Now, if we're wrong, then on Bitcoin here, this is the 61.8% rally here. If we get a tested support on top of 60, well, then of course we're going to be going long from that point, but we'd need a classic trading levels pattern at that point, and then we'd go long from there. Yes, certainly it's not the best, and we're not buying the dip and all the rest of it, because we expect a bigger correction. This correction is just not big enough. It should be much bigger than this one here for this. And we haven't got that so far. So I haven't bought the dip because I'm expecting to get further down with this. But sure, I could be wrong. But I don't really sort of care because I'm just hodling anyway. So yeah, so I think that we're pretty much on track with this being the right count here as an A and a B and a C wave here for this. We looked at it being, if I can just go to our 15-minute chart, where we were looking at it being impulsive to the downside. And I think we can just talk about that again here as well. So from the top here, we can look at it as wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And that's a really nice fit for all of this here. And then down for wave 3 here, then an A and a B and a C for wave 4. And it looks like we've got 5 waves down here, but we don't. And we will look at that in a bit more detail. We've just got sort of 3 waves down here. Or could we? Yeah, I suppose we could, but we still end up with an overlap here, pretty big, possible. And I don't normally worry about spikes like this come down that far. This one here would be more important for me to hear. It's okay to have a level 5 wave structure here. So it could be wave 3, 4, and 5 here for the third wave, and then up for the fourth wave, pulling back to the fourth wave of 1 lesser degree, and then down again. But because this is in 3 waves, because this is in 3 waves, and because this is in 3 waves so far, and that could change, but so we could end up in a triangle pattern here as well for this, as a B wave, as this B wave here, sitting here for that. And then down. So we have the A wave sitting over here for this. So there's a variety of things that can occur with this. What I want to do is just go into we were working on 20 ticks yesterday. I don't need to go in there today because it's all a little bit messy with lots of labelings on it, but I'm going to go to the 100 ticks where it's just a little bit cleaner. So I just want to talk about a few things here. So we know that we've got 5 waves down here. We know we've got a correction here. Now, if that was going to be wave 1 and 2 here, then that's really quite big for wave 2, just the structure of that compared to wave 1. So I don't particularly like that, calling that wave 2 there. It's more like an A and a B wave here for that. And then even if we call that down for 1 here and 2 here, and then down for 3, 4 here, we can't do that because this B wave here is overlapping the previous wave 1 over here for that. So we can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down here, or 5 down to here for that matter. An extension in the 5th wave is fine, but we still got that strong overlap here for that. So that doesn't play out very nicely. So I think that we need to look at it as an ABC here for the A wave, the B wave here, and then 5 waves down here for this. So the way that I've counted it down here is, well, I won't go into it. It's just, I did that yesterday. So this move here, this move up here is not in 5 waves. This is all kind of important stuff here, really. So we can count 5 waves from here as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for that. So we could look at that as an A wave here for that. This move down through here is in 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. So we need to look at that as the B wave here. So it's not 5 waves down. Then we can look at this here as wave C wave up here in 5 waves. That's okay. And then we need to look at this move down through here. This is important because it dictates what's going to happen next with all of this. Now, we could call this wave 1 down here, right? And then we could call, well, I'm just trying to, I mean, I can see that this is in 5 waves here, right? So it's not 5 waves from the top. It's an A and a B and a C wave here for the A wave here at least, or we could, I'm just trying to work it that we get 5 waves here, but it would have to be wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just doesn't fit, and this overlaps with this, so that doesn't fit. So it makes it quite difficult here for this. It doesn't give us 5 waves down here, so we have to label it. We have to label this ABC for the A wave here, the B wave here for this, and so far we've got we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1, ABC back for wave 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave, a little bit short. An A and a B and a C wave here for that. So that could play out like that. This is still obviously moving here, but it's really sluggish. So we could end up in a triangle pattern here. There's no, you know, Bitcoin doesn't want to get up here to its 50-60% retracement. Now, it may get 5 waves here. It may have, this is strong wave 1 here with wave 2 here, nice and swift and sharp. We could be going up for a wave 3 here, but that would make wave 5 really small. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could have another, we should have another one up here. So we could get 5 waves up here, but even if we got 5 waves up here, we could end up something like this here. So that could be the C wave here. So we're either going to, basically, we're either going to get wave C up here for this, all right? And then we've got to bring wave B down on top of that here. And then we go down for wave C at that point. So we can't, there's just not 5 waves in this first leg here. So we can't call this wave 1 here and wave 2 here for this. That's what I'm trying to rule out the bull market going up here. I know that we would be long above 60 as support because that's the 61.8% mark here. I mean, I'm just going into the guessing game here a little bit. I don't know if we're going to get some sort of triangle or not. But we also have to understand too that I just think we've got some mucking around in here to do, and then we've got to move down. That's the way I see it. Just bringing Ethereum across here. This is Ethereum on 100 ticks. Just need to bring in a bit more data here. So from the top here, we could look at this in a couple of different ways down through here, but we don't have we don't have five waves here coming down here, because we'll just have overlapping wave structures at that point. So the same thing here again is that we don't really have wave 1 and 2 here, then wave 1 and ABC for wave 2 here. This is just too big for that. So it's better off counting ABC for the A wave and ABC here for the B wave here, and then going up for the C wave here. So we could be there already with this. So doesn't quite look right for three waves there for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, got 1 and 2. It's like 1 and 2 here and another 1 here for that. So that's a little bit weird. Oh no, we can do that. Sorry. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Yeah, so that's okay. We can do that. It's just doesn't quite look right, really. Then we're overlapping that. We are a bit. Still, I can get 5 waves there, so that's the thing. And then, so in this case, you know, in this case, we could. I need to pull that apart. I'm not sure about that. We'll just have a quick look, see if it jumps out. 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third wave, fourth wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. Then that looks corrective here. So I can put that there, a bit rough in here, but still that looks corrective. Oh, is it? Oh, I don't know. I don't want to get into that just yet. That's a bit guessy. But we're at the 61.8% here for that. I'm not quite sure if there may be another high there. I need to ponder that a little bit. But we've reached the 61.8%. It's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I do that? But that overlaps with that. If I look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 here, that's a pretty big fourth wave, isn't it? So that really overlaps. It doesn't really compute. So it's best like that. So what I'm trying to say here is I don't have, from the low, I don't have 5 waves up here. I mean, can we look at it as, I'm just shooting the breeze here, as B wave here and a C wave, copy this down here, but then it doesn't leave Bitcoin in the right place either at that point. So I think we're still in the correction. I think that we're halfway through, you know, over halfway through the correction at this point in time. I think there should be another leg coming into play here. So we just need to be a bit mindful, as in 5 waves coming down through here. I know that Ethereum doesn't want to come down because it's chirpy. I mean, all the bounces here have been really high here, aren't they? So, I mean, will it leave Bitcoin at this point? You know, Bitcoin's the one that's lagging in this instance. If we had 5 waves off the low here, we can either call, if the market's going to continue up here, then we'd have to call this an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, but it just doesn't count very well as a C wave here for that. So it's very difficult to, you know, to be serious about that type of count at that point there. Is it possible? Maybe. Let's just see how this floats here now. We've got a rough 5 waves up there. I'm not quite sure about this 5th wave that it's extended in. I mean, because it is, you know, it wants to rally high, doesn't it? You know, so it's going to be hard for it to be pulled back down here. So, yeah, it's got to keep an eye on that. But it's certainly hitting the supply levels now. So this is where the supply is through here. You know, markets move quickly through here because they get all the stops get taken out at that point and people panic and whatnot. So, yeah, let's just see how that floats. But Bitcoin just hasn't gotten off there. And also Ethereum too, even if it goes up here, it could pull up to its 78.6 rather than the 61.8% because it's testing the upper boundaries of everything. So, you know, even if there is another structure, it could pull up here higher, it still wouldn't make me go long at that point for this, because I still think that we can be in a trap. You can see that Bitcoin just is not making a move to the upside. So I think that this all looks corrective to me. I think that we're in some sort of B wave here. I just don't know, whereabouts are we with all of this. Can we get 5 waves up here? We can, but it just means that this third wave here needs to be, needs to get a bit of a hop along here. So we would need to look at this as, have I got little 5 waves here somewhere? Yeah, there's some here. So 1 and 2 here. I'd say wave 3 needs to move up further, but then where's that going to leave Ethereum? It's going to leave it much more bullish at that point, isn't it? I mean, if you wanted to make money, then you would go with Ethereum on the long side, on any of these. So that would need to creep up a bit higher here for that to play out, and that would need to move up there, but that would leave Ethereum pushing a lot further up. So let's just see how this plays out, I guess. If you see a drop that comes in further down here, it still need, on this leg here, it need to drop below the 61.8%. Even if it moves higher, you can do the same thing I'm doing again here. It would need to drop below that 61%. So if it moves up through there, just keep moving the 61.8% up here, because it's just really dancing across this lower end of group 2 here. So 65, 72 and 80 here for this. And we'll see if we get that triangle position there. So just to recap a little bit, first of all, I don't have any answers for this. It doesn't appear that, it appears that we're in a corrective rally here. That's what it looks like. It's not like we've got 5 waves off the low here. So, bear that in mind somewhat. Can this be the final wave C here? There's an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here. Well, in the bigger picture, it just makes that too small, doesn't it? So, yeah. So anyway, we'll just give it a bit more time, and we'll just see how it plays out. Because it would be nice if the market does pull back, down lower through here. That will be fantastic for all of us, for all the hodlers anyway. Alrighty, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Sorry, I don't have any definitive answers, but as I said, coming into this wave 4 right from the get-go, we're going to need a lot of patience, and the puzzle doesn't really reveal itself until sort of much later on as it matures. So just be careful in what you do in Bitcoin here. If you're going to go long, then you're probably better off doing that in Ethereum. But I'm personally just going to wait for this to resolve itself in here and see if we start to get this move down onto the lower side here for this. I will happily go long above the 60,000 with Bitcoin because it's sluggish. If it can get up on support here, then I can, start to add more positions here, but I'll add them here, or I'll be adding them anywhere under the 50,000. I'll be sort of building in over this side over them. So that's what I will be doing. In terms of people just trading traders as leverage, then you're probably better off going for something else at this moment, because Bitcoin is just not getting off its backside to bounce higher. Alrighty, cheers.